So Facebook is under fire again, this time because of a leaked document from 2 Facebook execs in Australia that basically identified sad and insecure teens in the country and gave information potentially that could allow advertisers to target these teens when they are at their most vulnerable. Now, the confidential document dated this year detailed how by monitoring posts, comments, and interactions on the site. Now, Facebook can figure out when people as young as 14 feel defeated, overwhelmed, stressed, anxious, nervous, stupid, silly, useless, and a failure. Now, these are all terms that were in this document that these execs are using to basically talk about the emotional status, no pun intended, of their users. Now, they gathered through a system dubbed sentiment analysis, and it can be used by advertisers to target young Facebook users when they're potentially more vulnerable, like I said at the start. The secret document was put together by 2 of these Australian Facebook execs and includes information about young people also when they're feeling excited, reflective, as well as other emotions related to overcoming fears. And in the article it says, Monday through Thursday is about building confidence. The weekend is for broadcasting achievements. According to this report, Facebook is also seeking to sell ads to users concerned with insights gleaned from posts such as those concerned with body confidence and losing weight. Facebook's data use policy warns users that the company may use the information we receive about you for internal operations, including troubleshooting, data analysis, testing, research, and service improvement, which doesn't totally address the whole advertisement issue here. And so they might be in the clear in terms of their terms of use, but this could be in breach of Australian guidelines for advertising and marketing towards children. And so, well, I mean, I want to hear what you guys think about it because I have opinions, but I want to hear.
Maybe this is just the Aussies' parents trying to figure out how to deal with teenagers. Because when I was a teenager, defeated, overwhelmed, stressed, anxious, nervous, stupid, silly, useless, and failure was just Friday night.
I just wrote down all the time. Yeah, you're right. That is teenagehood.
That is what happens. You're going out, you're playing football. Next minute you get rejected. All of the above. No, but on a serious note, are we surprised? Are we really surprised that they're going to try to find ways to market to a specific feeling or specific mood? I mean, on Facebook, you can literally write that you're feeling stressed, anxious, whatever. Like you can have that notion and indicate it. And I'm sure as a way they're able to track, like you scroll through your Facebook and you might have been thinking that you were looking at all music sites in the past, a month for some reason, and all of a sudden headphones pop up on an advertisement. It's the way they're able to track
Which is fine if it's headphones.
No,
but
I
if
get
you're
it,
talking about how I feel emotionally, and just to build on it, if I talk about how I feel emotionally vulnerable because I'm having body image issues, and then it's like, you do need to lose weight. Weight Watchers. Like that's shitty.
Yeah, and so we don't know if this is actually being used by advertisers yet. I mean, I think that is the concern that people have about this data being available. But there's a really interesting story that I actually was not aware of. So for this week in 2012, Facebook decided to do an experiment. And so what they did was they showed people different statuses. They messed up the algorithm for people, and they showed some people positive ones and some people negative ones. And they wanted to see if it would actually change the people's moods based off the way that they interacted with Facebook and interacted with the site. And what they found is that it does.
Yeah.
So if they're able to discern how you're feeling and affect how other people are feeling, I mean, that's like frightening.
Well, that's it. That's the proof, Facebook, dear friends over there, that like this is messed up, and you've proven that it's messed up. You've proven you can change the way people are feeling. Now, if you wanted to say that Facebook was originally founded as a way to make a more open and connected world, this is not that. This is you're running experiments, and I get it. They always talk about, listen, there's more work that needs to be done, and every time we do this, we fail and we learn, which is a very Silicon Valley trial and error, fail early and often approach. But in the meantime, these are real people. And if you're looking for something to tie it to, it's just like when Betsy DeVos says that she's gonna like run, essentially just let the market determine how schools are operated. In the meantime, real people's lives are being affected. And the solution needs to, if this is any evidence, be handled with more reverence for exactly what you're doing. You're not just throwing spaghetti against the wall, even if it is a small subsection of your user base.
Yeah, but they're not just letting the market sort of parse out, right? It's not just like
That's DeVos.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
but
this
they
is
do.
Not,
What read New York Magazine?
But this is not like a laissez-faire sort of thing. Like they're actually like going in, figuring out how these people feel, figuring out if they can like manipulate people's emotions, that's not just, and like real people's emotions. And I think that's a really great point. Like these are actual humans, and especially when you're talking about kids who are, I mean, I'm gonna sound like such a grandma right now, but like for 14, think about when you were 14 and
I prefer not to.
How impressionable you were and things like that. And then to see this sort of thing and know that Facebook has the ability to change your emotions.
No, but I don't think that that's as far-fetched as what you guys are putting forward. Like, of course, if you're on Facebook and you go through and you're consistently, you might not be feeling in a good mood, regardless. How many times do you go on social media and you either feel better or worse about the situation you're already feeling about? I'm not saying
feel worse consistently.
Yeah, I'm saying like how many times during this current political climate do you wake up in a great mood and scroll through Twitter? Oh, Jesus Christ, South Korea's trending, North Korea's trending, blah blah blah.
Right.
So yeah, it's got the impact. But if you start to utilize that for advertising gain, and all of a sudden people are starting to monitor how you're feeling and how you're reacting to it and try to advertise to you and all the benefit from it, yeah, that's when it becomes really shady. I just think that this study, which I read earlier on, when Facebook were adjusting algorithms, if you start to read more negative feeds and you start to read more negative things, if you're more often than not a person that goes on Facebook to try and either validate something you're looking into or to go and see what people are up to more often than not, your mood will be swung with that. But I don't think that's right, especially when it's such young minds that maybe, if they're already feeling down in the dumps, are being lured into certain areas that they shouldn't be lured into.
Well, that's the thing. There's so many different studies that show how social media makes you feel worse, right? Because you're only seeing this, I don't remember who said this quote, but you're only seeing people's highlight reel, right? You're not seeing the behind the scenes. You're seeing what they want to share with the world. So more often than not, it's positive things. So already it's making you feel like shit. And then on top of that, if you're feeling shit and Facebook is like, let's see if we can make them feel like shittier and things like that.
Right.
Like that's just like a compounding effect.
I will say to their benefit, like I'm sure that these words, defeated, overwhelmed, stressed, anxious, nervous, stupid, silly, useless, and a failure, those are the negative words in the list of things they're trying to do. And it seems like, because if they say confidence building at the beginning of the week and sharing successes on the weekend, like those are positive things in this same document. I'm sure they're just trying to find out, and I get that instinct. Yeah. The instinct to find out. If you're studying something, that's one thing, but and they're also and to Facebook's credit, over the course of the last few months, they've evolved a lot. You know, there's if you should read it, it's like the cover story in New York Times Magazine this weekend. It's about Mark Zuckerberg and his interactions with this one writer over the course of a little while, where he goes back and it's very obvious that he's trying to take this very seriously.
Right.
But I think what it is the hubris of a programming company that's trying to solve this through some kind of artificial intelligence solution, because they have to, because over 1 billion people use it every day, and it's just not good enough yet. And it's that feeling that they can eventually solve it, that in the meantime, they end up neglecting portions of the population. It's a really sad story.
I do think that's like the core of the problem. I think you're right. I think that's the root of the problem, that they are interpreting this as like data and like numbers and analytics. And I think sometimes it's forgotten that these are people.
And I honestly don't think that there's a nefarious approach to it. I think they're very fascinated with this. And they think it's really great what they're able to do. The intent of the newsfeed was to get the stuff you're sharing, have it shared more efficiently. And I do think on the opposite side of what you're saying about how folks share with a lot of people and you see the highlight reel, Facebook also allows you to share things with your closest friends and confidants. And as a result of that, just imagine if it wasn't online. They give you the option to make it feel like it's like it's the three of us at a table talking, all back and forth to each other. And if they're studying that, imagine we were in this group and someone pops up from under here and just goes, "Hey, you guys feeling sad? How about some Xanax?
Yeah.
How about you watch? How about you go check out this thing?" And it's good. They have tried to use that in a positive way, because they have given people the access to the suicide hotline.
Yeah,
well, yeah,
I was gonna say that.
How many times
I said it first, so it's my point.
How many times is there troubling people out there that go and look at sites to try and find some sort of refuge, but it can lead you to an indicator that maybe there's someone out there that's either going to harm themselves or harm other people. How many times have we seen with someone that commits atrocities and it's been scrolled back through their Facebook feed that they've been on this page and this page and this page? So again, it's a very thin line. You don't want to invade on people's privacy, but I get how they're trying to understand. But I don't know what you two are talking about with Facebook being some sort of positive environment for people to share. The last what, 2 years? I don't think I've saw anyone share like really nice, uplifting pictures. It's more rants, political rants.
Don't get me started.
Instagram
on what it is.
Instagram is where you share the highlights of your life.
Very apologetic best practices of how to do a bunch of shit. Like Facebook, it is stuff you agree with and stuff that everyone saying that you like disagrees with intensely. And then us talking about how you can be mad and it's okay.
We're not the Young Turks, you're the Young Turks. You power this show. Together, we built something amazing. We've broken stories like the Donna Brazil story the mainstream media wouldn't break. We built the studio, we built this network. It's now #1, all thanks to you guys. Let's come build it even bigger and stronger. TYTnetwork.com/join.